Welcome, base builder, to some more 7 Days to Die Alpha 18, of course, because that is the current version, unless you are viewing this video when we're in Alpha 19 or later. But anyway, we're going to do some more base building, and of course, as always, whatever base I might build might not be fully unique. Someone might have built something similar or something unlikely to be exactly the same, but something using some of the same principles. It always happens. Might even be some YouTubers, or might be some non-YouTubers, might be people talking about it on Reddit or the forums. It happens. It's one of those things in life. Things are not always unique. It's still okay. We all have our own particular way of building things, our own particular sort of twists and turns about how we do it. So if someone made something similar, great, excellent, and hope you enjoy both of the bases. But anyway, we're going to make something that is combining some of the things that I've been doing in videos before. So in the past, I've been doing drop traps, which is good. Their fall traps are good. I've been doing kill pits, which are also good. I was using slippery slope, which are also good. Back in Alpha 16, I was doing some bases that were basically combining, let's say, a drop pit, with an area in the middle where you could stay and stand safely, but there was no way for the zombies to get to you because you're effectively floating. And there are some techniques to doing that I'm going to share with you. And I was doing this back in Alpha 16, so if someone has made it in Alpha 17 and Alpha 18, that's great, wonderful. But I was doing it back in Alpha 16, and I'm sure there were people doing that even before I was doing it back then. So we're going to start with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't have to be huge. 5, 6, is that good? Maybe we'll do 5. Okay, so we're going to do 5. We want to have sort of an open area in the middle so we can, well, I'll show that later. So this is sort of the building house area. Beyond that, we are going to, let me rotate this one. Do something like this, because we're obviously going to do a bit of a slippery slope. So if it's going to be 5, then this is also going to be 5. So that's 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you enjoy base builds, if you enjoy 7 Days to Die content in general, do follow, do subscribe to me, and do hit that notification bell. You'll be the first to be notified that I'm putting out some new videos. And why not just follow me on Twitter as well, or join my Discord, but above all, do subscribe if you enjoy my content, because that's the only way I can grow, and that's the only way I can keep on making better and better content for you. Okay, so now we have the basics of a slippery slope here. It's of course just one high. We're going to make it one more, but let's start with that. I am also going to have a bit of walls here. Now I'm just going to put in some basic ones. Let's see here. Let's do advanced. Come on, show me the correct. Okay, that's fine. I can do that. We're going to do something like this, and like, oh no, not down there. I have to remove that. Like this, and like this, and like this. Again, I'll build that up, and I'll make sure I have. Let's open up. Let's do this one. Let's have a door there. So now that we have the, okay, this one needs to go as well. Now we have the first layer. It's not the only layer. We're also going to do, and let me just show on one side here. We're going to have another layer here because slippery slopes are kind of peculiar. So 1 works, but 2 works even better. And let's do that here. If I do like this, I take this one, I copy rotation. Perfect. And then I put it not here, but I put it there. Now you might think, well, there's a whole block space in between, and you would be right, and you would actually be wrong. If you notice here, this is one block, as you can see by the outline of the white. This is another block as well. They're actually touching. What does this mean? Well, it means that as far as structural integrity is concerned, this that we have there is as strong as this, because they're still touching, which means that if I have something here and I have something here and I dig down here, all this will be held up by the blocks on the side, because this one and this one is touching as much as these two. And that's really how you do the slippery slope, with some sort of mutual structural integrity, holding each other up kind of thing. They're very good friends. They're not quite holding hands, but it's sort of like the holding up each other with a force field. So that's effectively what we're going to do here. So we're going to sort of build this out a little bit just to show this. And you could do this sort of further down or higher up, whatever. Just I want to have something to as a base here. And as I then take this out, let's do this like this. All right, you'll see that looks pretty good, right? But they're actually not touching. One problem you run across, though, is that potentially, if you are hanging all this off this one, you might get too heavy here in the middle, because concrete can hold. Now, let me showcase. So we have here reinforced concrete. If I go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and everything falls down. So it has a certain limit of how much weight it can take. And that's 13 blocks. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and everything falls down, right? So as you build up the walls and the ceiling, you might start to run into some issue with it being too heavy. So what we're going to do down here, we're going to do a little bit of an extra trick, which is effectively using the same thing. So let me rotate these ones. I'm going to put plates here. And I'm going to put plates here as well. And before I do that, I'm actually going to make sure I don't collapse things. Yeah, they are double there. I'm going to just dig out one extra here. And I'm going to put concrete. Again, we want to have some more stability. Reinforced concrete is always good. And then I'm going to put these ones here. Like this and this one. And what that means is that this space in the middle now is being held up by this one touching this one, but also this one touching this one, because I can't actually put any other block here in between. You see, it's already occupying that space and it's occupying this space. So together, this side is actually holding up this side, which means that I believe if I take out this whole thing, it actually should still float. So let me try and do that. And if it collapses, I'll just remove that from the video so people don't see it. Now, give me a moment. And it worked. Look at this. It's all hanging in midair. Ooh, isn't that cool? I could potentially remove these ones because I think right now I don't have enough weight that this would collapse, but this will just add some extra stability. And as we go down, I'm going to have a few more layers of this, again, just to make sure that things don't collapse, because if you get a collapse, then that's really annoying. But you see effectively what's happening here. This side is floating because we're using both these ones, which are touching, and we're using these plates, which are also touching. And the good thing is that there is enough space for zombies to walk down and fall down, which is exactly what we want. And even if they make it up here, they will still fall down because, well, there's not enough space for them to stand anywhere. Well, unless I leave this open, but I'm not going to leave that open. Let me just tidy up this first phase of this. All right, the first phase is pretty much done. So we have the platform in the middle that is nicely floating, which is just the way we want it. We have the outer platform, which is meant to make them fall down, slip down on the slippery slopes, and we have these extra just to give a little bit of extra stability. And you can actually, if you want to build this higher up, you can actually build this further down as well, because the more you have, the more stability you have in this whole thing, because you definitely don't want this all to come down, because that just makes it painful. So what we're going to do now, we're going to bring it down about, let's do about 10 deep. So I'm going to dig all this one out 10 deep, and let's see, we need to make that from the corner. Okay, so give me a while and I'll dig all this out in a nice 10 deep. And of course, we're not going to dig this manually. We're going to use the nice creative commands we have. We're going to do this, going to tag all that with Z, and go into K, dynamic prefabs, and clear selection. And if we're lucky, everything doesn't fall down. If it falls down, that would be fairly annoying. Okay. Oh, see, there we go. A nice little hole. And this resting here, this is one here. It is resting on these outer walls for now, but we're going to change that, obviously. And you'll see this whole thing in the middle is nicely resting. I'm probably going to have to repaint it just so you see a bit different colors. Okay, much better. You see, I have this thing, and we have the floating in the middle. Perfect, which is just what we want to do. So now at the bottom, we have guaranteed virtually that any zombies that fall down are going to come down here in between, because this is literally where the hole is. So all the zombies will come down here, which means that we have a little bit more to work with here. So we're going to do one slippery slope here, but we're going to make it a little bit higher, because obviously if we just have one, then they can actually run up on it, and we don't want to do that. So let me build up that all around. Basically have like this, and I'm actually going to do yet another layer here just to be sure. So effectively this one is now right under this one, which is holding this one, that is holding all this. You don't want to dig this out too much, because if this platform collapses, then of course everything else will collapse as well. So we're going to make this 3 to begin with, and if we really needed to, we could extend that even more, but I think 3 might actually be enough. Okay, we have our first piece down here. I have covered all the walls, and these ones can be a bit tricky to find, but the shapes do exist in the concrete. There's let's see, which one am I using? I think it's basically using these ones and these ones. Wet concrete, wedge deep inside corner base. Wet concrete, wedge deep in. Yeah, you get the picture. The very long name. So zombies might, I've seen them come up 4, but I think it should be all right. I'm also going to cover the walls with plates, but let's do our first test here. Zombies that are coming here, they probably should not be trying to jump over. I don't think so. I think they should just try to walk here. So let's try that out first. Let's do a zombie. Let's do just a normal biker. See if he walks over here. And again, if you want to do this for Horde, they're not going to be walking, but I just want to make sure that he's falling down. Right, they tend to go to the corners somehow. Maybe they prefer them. And then he falls down. Oh, and then, oh! So do I. Fortunately, I'm in God mode. It's slippery. Don't stand there. I should have gone in the middle. That's a much better place. Let's see if we have a feral biker. Does he run and fall down? Yes. He still runs and fall down, and he's down here, and yep, he's dead. And let's see if we get a few of them. Few feral darlings. They come here, they jump up, obviously they're one down, then they run down, and we should... Yep, they don't know where to go. You see, they try to get up. They will be targeting some of the corners, as you notice. We are going to do a little bit about that later on, but just for now, it is one of those things that can happen. The corner seems to be fairly weak for some reason when they walk around. It is a little bit unavoidable, so especially the corners, you might want to steal up. For some reason, you know, it's not consistent, but they tend to go here, and if there's too many of them, then they obviously can stack up on each other. Okay, good. Okay, that part is working. We're going to do something to avoid them targeting the sides, but for now, this works pretty well. So let me cover up all the sides with plates, and we'll continue. Okay, sort of done. You might notice that I don't have any plates here on all the corners because actually this space is taken up by this plate, which means I cannot put a plate here. And usually what I would do, I would simply take out this block, which is actually one deeper, and put in something like this. And if you'll notice, if I get really close, you'll see there's still an edge here because it's slightly behind. Doesn't really matter. I'll paint it the same color anyway, so it won't really be visible. And structurally, it doesn't really matter at all because this one is already holding up the block here, so it's all fine. Okay, we're nicely done here. Put a couple of lanterns just so we have a little bit more light here. You'll see I painted all up. Everything is completed here, which means that effectively this space is, well, not quite done because I still need to build up in the middle, but it means you sort of get the picture of how the layout is. The middle, as long as you block off the vision for zombies, at least cops will not bash, and it means that they will not try to jump here either, and they will all fall down. So I'm going to complete this. I'm going to just even out the sides here as well so that zombies walk up and don't try to bash or jump or something, and we'll try it out. And finally, we're going to put in a door here so we can actually get in, even though, of course, it's a bit difficult because I'm flying here. Let's close that. We're also going to do We're gonna have probably, let's put in some ladders. I'll show why I want to put ladders here. Let's do iron ladders. This should be all right. Put them like this. And then we're going to do... Oh, I have some hatches. Oh, perfect. I do this. So that we actually can open. And not that we can see anything. We can open and see all the way down. And because I have a ladder, it's a bit of a trick here. If you put a ladder here, it means that even if you happen to go in, you don't actually fall down. Which means you can actually... Well, you can walk there as long as you don't do what I just did. But it means that if you go here, you don't actually fall down. If you keep going around, you actually will. So you have to sort of make sure you get up again. But it gives you a good way of moving around without risking falling down. As you can see, you can go both up and down. Pro tip. So now that I think about it, I probably want to redo this just slightly, because I want to have better visibility. So let me do advanced. Some of these things that you just see once you're actually getting done. So let's remove these ones as well. Let's do this. We want to have a better visibility here. And if we do this, that would work. Now we can see down properly. It does mean the ladders are not going to be so effective. Let's do that instead. And arrow slip would probably be pretty good here. So let me turn that here. Come on. Let me do it other way, like this. And then I can put in hatches that I wanted to put it to begin with. Okay. So now if I do want to get some visibility, I can just go here and look here. I get some. If I want to have more, I can open up and then I really can see the whole thing here. And of course I have a second one if I really want to. So whichever side I want to see, and I can even throw down grenades or molotovs or whatever I want to. Pipe bombs is my favorite actually. Let's paint this one. This looks better in purple. Purple is one of the few really nice colors, unfortunately, because even the red one is not too bad, but it's a little bit splotchy, and the purple one is nice and smooth. We will look from outside. Oh, slightly white. Why did that happen? Oh, maybe because I put the corners. Ah, that's fine. That looks a nice pattern. You see, I've sort of given it some slopes, some ramps here, just to aid the zombies to get in, and they will fall down and they'll be nicely under here. They will probably go for the corners, but we're going to work on that a little bit. Let me just do a... This one cannot be like that. That's just cannot accept that. Cannot have like concrete look. No. Okay. Right. So we are going to run a quick little horde. I'm going to put in something like 16 concurrent, 24 concurrent, then we're going to continue doing some more building just to avoid some of the issues that we're bound to see when we're running the Horde. And the Blood Moon Horde is approaching. Not from here. Not from here. Oh, there they're coming. Okay. So let's see. I am inside. I'm actually not flying around. He jumped. He fell down. They run. They fall down. And you'll see they will be congregating down there. And I have 16 concurrent. And as you will see, some of them might be starting to bash. It's not normally that bad. It will be the occasional one. But them being down here doesn't really help me because, well, we have to kill them. So let me exit out from that. And we need to do something. Now, you could stand here and basically try to pop them like this. It works sort of well if you're good at aiming, which you don't have a lot of space here. You can sort of see them, but it's a little bit troublesome to move around this way and catch them because they're jumping and stuff like that, and you might be wasting a lot of ammo. What you could do instead is that you could do like this and just throw down some molotovs. That'll make them start burning. That helps. Or you can just do this. Here's one. Here's one. Another one. Here's another one. Because they're nicely grouped up, you actually get a fair bit of experience for... Oh! And let me go out of God mode there, so if I die, then I die. You might want to make sure you don't throw it incorrectly. It does bounce fairly weirdly at times. See, there's another one, and now I have a better way of actually shooting. Getting some headshot, if you can just wait for him, because they tend to jump the same way. And You see with these ones, not an issue. See if I can actually get it down there. Yes, perfect. And let's do that. Get it down. Yes, perfect. And you can just continue doing that the whole horde. However, there is going to be some damage to this, and oh, you saw I fell down, but actually because I put the ladders, I was all good. And of course, because let's get rid of this one, because I'm up here, they will spit sometimes if they see me, and I can just repair it. So doing all this in reinforced concrete is worthwhile, because as you notice, the cops actually can do quite a lot of damage as they do the one thing. But let's throw down. Oh, I think that was a cop. Yep, that was definitely a cop. You have to be better at throwing these down than I am. You can throw a few together and then you light one up. All good, right? And bam, bam, bam. Pretty good experience, but it's not perfect. I just getting them down here, I think is kind of boring. So we're gonna look at, can we get them up so they fall down again? You'll notice that they have been bashing here, this one, because they will start attacking some blocks. A lot of these ones is from the cop explosions and a little bit from my pipe bombs, but a lot of it is actually from the cop explosions. And we want to sort of avoid that happening. Here's another one where they've been mining, especially if there's a lot down here. They would get that extra bonus, and we don't want that. And by bonus, I mean the horde damage bonus. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to need a little bit of space. I'm going to take out, let's do that. I'm going to take out a little bit of space here, so I have something to work with. Okay, so I don't really know if I need all this space, but it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of extra. So let's see, we are going to put down some concrete blocks here. Let's see if we can get one side done. Do this. We're gonna have, guess, like this. Yeah, let's start with that. We'll do the same thing here. Do this. That's fine. And we do like this. So it means that we're gonna have to have that special. That's all right. Special shape there. All right. Let's see if we can find that one, which is sort of the outer corners. First, this one is this one. That's the easy one. Then we have this one. Yes, it is. And then we have another of this one. Oh, yeah. Perfect. I think that's what we want, actually. So let me make another of one here as well. So we sort of have the same on the sides. Okay, so this is how it looks right now. We have a pathway in here. And the aim is actually to try to funnel them upwards. So I'm going to dig up maybe a 3x3 hole that goes all the way to the surface. Turns out what I need is actually a 4x4, but anyway, you know, small things. So we're gonna build this up here as well. Now I think this might work. I'm not actually 100% sure because I haven't tested it out in Alpha 18. The idea is that if we do it like this, we can put ladders here. And by putting ladders, and this might be in a bad place, we can force the zombies, or rather encourage the zombies to come up here again as well. So let's do that here. Where are my ladders? If we put ladders, well, I'm gonna put one here. It goes all the way up. And we are gonna put on the side as well, just in case. The side sort of gets shifted up a little bit, and I think they might possibly path there as well, but if nothing else, having 3 is probably better than 1. So I hope that this is how it might work. So let's see if we get in a zombie here. Let's do look at me. Let's do a feral. Let's do a feral lab. Okay. No, please don't hit a nurse. Oh yeah, she's much better. Okay, so she falls down. Come on, show me that you want to get up here. Oh yes. Oh, bam! First time it worked. Does that work if I put in 25 of them? Let's get some strippers. Let's get the cheerleader. Okay. Do they all do the same thing? Do they fall down here? Yes, these ones do. And they all run here and they all come up. Oh! And then they fall down again. Oh, this is... I think this might actually be perfect. Let's go down and see what happens here. Okay, so these ones... When there are this many, they do sort of get stuck on the sides. I might want to push that. Actually, I might meant to make all this sort of straight, because they do get stuck here, as you can see, and then they'll be doing some bashing possibly. But yeah, they'll be falling down and they'll be coming up, and actually they do come up from this one. Oh, did they kill? Oh no, she probably took enough fall damage after a few falls that she actually succumbed to her injuries. Oh, really nice. There is the occasional damage here as they... Oh, they're falling on the side. Okay, so I have to prevent that. As they slip off here, they start bashing this side, which is not what we want, as she's not able to come up. So I think we can probably deal with that. No, this looks really good. Again, if you're doing this, I think I would push this whole wall all the way up here and just have like 8 or 9 or something stairs, ladders up. That would probably work a lot better. But just for now, this works fine. So I present to you the slippery slope fall trap merry-go-round. Okay, that's a little bit of a long name. Not easy to come up with this unique names. But anyway, we have the floating base in the middle. We have the slippery slopes that is holding it up with some additional plates on the inside just for a little bit of extra stability. It falls down and we have this catch area. And then we have the merry-go-round part where... Zombies will run up here, they'll climb up here, they'll come up here, decide, oh, the way to get to the player is to run here again and fall down again and take additional damage. And meanwhile, we are able to stand here and just shoot at them as they fall down, or more likely, as they try to run this way. Actually, you got a pretty good view here. If I do this, let's actually shift this, like... Yes, like this. And we have a much better way of shooting. Actually, if I was clever, I would have lowered that, well, sorry, raised that a little bit so I see even further that way as they run this way, because they will be congregating around here, which is a good place to be, throwing Molotovs and stuff like that. Either way, they will be running that way, and can I get through here? Yes, and they'll be coming up here and they'll be continuing over and over again. And I'm not using any traps or whatever. There's going to be damage from gravity. Their legs are going to take some damage. I'm going to be shooting them, and Molotovs and pipe bombs and all of that. And we'll do a future version of this where I have some ideas of how I want to put in traps here to do this one into semi-automated as well. But, you know, that's for another time. We can't do everything in one go. So let me just reset this. I'm going to repair a little bit more of the cosmetic damage because it's irritating me. And then I'm going to reset for another Blood Moon Horde. And the Horde is upon us, and interestingly, is right as there was a wandering Horde that was walking past. You'll see they're running away here, but and running past. So these one running away are actually the wandering Horde that decided to come by, and these one coming in are the Blood Moon Horde, because these ones are feral, these ones are not. These are just dumb ones. Let's see here. They do sort of walk up. They do have some issues here. I might actually... For some reason, these ones have a bit of a harder time getting up. They seem to fall off. I probably should have put ladders up on the side here as well, so that if they fall off, they can just continue climbing, because that'll cause some damage, but it's not going to be fatal. There's probably going to, at worst, they'll destroy the wall here, which is, you know, still okay. Not terribly good, but if I put ladders on the sides as well, I think that will solve it. Either way, they come down here, fall down, some of them stack up. That's unavoidable. They tend to unstack as soon as they move. Jumping, falling, and some of them, yeah, this corner, because some of them do get a bit confused here. And if I put ladders here, I think that would be solving it. And I'm not really doing anything, and I'm obviously perfectly safe up here. you'll see I'm standing there nicely smoking my cigar. Actually, I'm just playing with it. It's a pen. It's a pen. Don't worry about it. You know, we don't do anything like that here. Actually, surprisingly little damage. They do run around the sides, and is he going to take a swing? He did actually finally took a swing. Okay, so let's say I go into this view here, and they know obviously where I am, and oh yeah, here is actually a really good place to stand as well if you want to shoot. You do have to watch for cops deciding to take a swing at you, but most of them actually look away from you as they run that way, so that might actually not be a huge problem. Nice, and let's see we decide to... Oh yeah, that's a really good space because they will always be congregating there. So the more zombies you have, the more fun. Let's see if we do some pipe bombs as well. Can we bounce them in there? I wonder how far in I can bounce them without hitting... Oh, I think that's good. Oh yeah, this is really good because using pipe bombs is actually extremely effective use of resources because... Oh, even the cop is there, but that doesn't really matter. It takes a little bit of... I could take out the cop, but he doesn't even look at me because I gave them a way out. Oh, this works even better than expected. And if we do get... No, actually I can't even kill him because he's so fast. Actually, I like this. Surprisingly, I did not think it was going to be this effective. Let me see if I can get a cop and... Yes, is he dead? Yes, okay. So you can get the cops that way, and otherwise just stand here, throw down your pipe bombs, and get the experience. As I was saying, it's very effective use of... Oh, how did he do that? He was actually vomiting out of his head, the back of the head. Really weird. I've actually never seen that properly. Okay, so I'm not in God mode, as you noticed. Which is... Oh, I think because he saw me. Okay, let's... don't have any water. I got some paint. That's not really healthy to drink anyway, so let's not do that again. And let's make sure we don't throw it down. Yeah, oh yeah. So I think it's when they fall down, and we probably could do that a little bit better so we block off from their falling. So we have a good view of this space, but from the sides we don't. Yeah, see, there's another one who's going to vomit. That is a bit of an issue. It's not terminal. But let me come back to making pipe bombs. So I covered that in a previous video. Pipe bombs are really easy to unlock, but once you do, one plant fiber, easy. Short iron pipe, that's just iron in the forge. Gunpowder is really simple, so you can mass produce this one. You can craft, you know, thousands of these ones really easily, and all you need is... Where's this one? Demolition expert. You need this one, the first one, which is 1 perk point, right? That's no issue at all to get. And then you just get your gunpowder, which of course is really simple. Even the Molotov is actually more expensive. He's going to vomit. Yep, it's more expensive to be crafting. So I actually prefer to make the pipe bombs because you can make tons of them. And at 12 gunpowder, that's equivalent to about 4.772 rounds. And normal rounds, or 2.5 if you're using the, I believe it's the hollow point or the armor piercing. So, you know, that's it's nothing. You know, the amount of experience you can get from just throwing like this in a crowd is just amazing. The Molotovs do look good from... oh, I think one of the cops blew up. The Molotovs just look nicer, but yeah, they're definitely not as effective. And of course, if you just want to stand here with your normal revolver and everything, that works really well as well. It's nice to see them fall down and they're still burning. So I think this works really, really well. It's going to be minimal damage on the side. You see, actually, it's pretty much nothing. The only damage I see is up here because of the vomiting. And I think if I'll try to keep that in mind next time. If we block off the view a little bit, because they do fall down. They come this way and they fall down and then they see me. And that's a bit of an issue. But if we block that off a little bit, so that they can see me when they fall down, I think that... Oh, I might die. I think that will solve them from actually vomiting. Because they only vomit when they see the player. And if they don't see the player, then they're not gonna vomit. Don't die, please. Oh, and don't, yeah. Need some more healing perks here. So hopefully you enjoyed this this base design. It can definitely be made better with some traps, so we can try to kill some of the zombies as they try to run out. But just for a basic approach, I think this works really well. And do make sure you subscribe in. Oh! That frick. Smash that like button. No, this is what happens when you are distracted, not in God mode, and hold the pipe bomb for too long. Anyways, I will see you next time if I can resurrect myself.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.